So I'm knock on the door of 50. And now, why would you listen to a male influencer if your goal is weight loss and be lean and fast and have energy? And you can do all this stuff. It sounds salesy, but it's true. You can have all these things year round for decades, in and out, just like I have. All right, this is the test. Ask your influencer. The date today is the 12th of April. We're here in Adelaide, Australia. 12th of April, 2025. All right. So you see the vascularity here, and I'm full of glycogen. All right, full of glycogen here. All right. So you can see that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. All right. Fully hydrated, fully carved up, not starved, full of water. All right. Full of sugar, no diuretics or nonsense like that. And look back at my videos from 2008. All right. So I look pretty much the same. Maybe a bit more hair and a bit more youthful looking, but still lean and still look like I'm ready to bang out a fast marathon. Why? People get all these questions. People are what about fructose? And what about this? And what about that? You know, such and such. Joe Rogan says this. And I'm like, if you want Joe Rogan's results, then ignore me and listen to Joe Rogan. All right? Imagine that. Imagine having the cardio of Joe Rogan, right? In the bedroom. He's gassing out. Oh, sorry, darling. You know, imagine that. Embarrassing for me to have cardio so poor like that. Okay. Or having strength that's only good for a couple of reps and then you gassed out. It's crazy, man. I remember one time I had a running race with this big trend bro, huge bro, and we were up Mount Lofty, and he was sitting on the side catching his breath. I'm like, I said, no pain, no gain. Come on, bro, let's get going. And he's like, he got a bit pissed off at me, and so he just sprinted past me. I thought, wow, he's going for it. So I picked up the pace, caught him, passed him. I said, come on, let's go, bro, let's go. And he was sitting down, so he was like resting, and I was going at my time trial pace, could still talk a bit. He sprinted with me for a bit, and then was poof, done and dusted. He was like hands on his knees. I stopped. Said, "You okay, bro?" He goes, "Fuck off, I'm alright, mate." But he was pissed. He really thought he could beat me, and I just thought, man, this guy's gassed out. He definitely bench pressed more than me, but not for much longer. He would gas out after a few reps. Okay, and where's his health today? I mean, using that much testosterone, that much trend long term, all that protein and stuff, that ain't gonna be healthy. Yeah, sure, you look the part for a bit in your life, but then how long can you maintain that? So we're talking about sustainability, and I can speak from experience because I've used anabolic steroids before, as you know. You probably wouldn't know unless I told you, because I don't look like I ever have. Especially now, today at 70 kilos, I'm looking essentially the same as I did 15 years ago before I touched anything. But people out there, like, I see people really suffering, and with obesity, fatness, and I see lean people just starving themselves, man. Just starving themselves and having really poor quality energy, which means to have poor quality relationships. How can you have energy for your passions in life when you don't even have enough muscle glycogen to run up flights of stairs? How can you be a boss parent, a good parent, if you don't have enough energy to sprint laps of the oval chasing your kids around? Like, you're going to gas out, man. You can have all the love in the world and good intentions, but if you don't have energy, stamina, muscle glycogen, it's over, bro. It's over. You just won't have the presence. Your kids will get raised by TikTok. Your chick will be, elsewhere, or your boyfriend will be like, "Hey, your moods really suck. I can't be around this anymore." We really miss out when we fear carbohydrate. All right, when you fear sugar, you're done. And there's that guy out there called Snake Diet, Cole Robinson. Shout out to Cole. Here's Cole here. This is Cole referring to me. There you go. It's great reading his experiences. He's added the sugar in and he's just thinking, damn, this is the best thing ever. All right. He's keeping the fat really, really low. And he's not a vegan yet, but if he did my protocols where he cut out the lean protein and switch from animal source to plant source, like, to chickpeas and stuff, you get way better leanness, man. Because if you test my bacteria in my gut, my microbiome, as a vegan hippie, man, it's got to be a lot different to back when I used to eat animal products. My digestion, I've done all the experiments, people, trust me. All right? I'm an experimenter. I'm fastidious about running little experiments. And the night and day difference on my protocols, which are also vegan, the digestion with that versus, adding in some lean meat and stuff, which I used to do, back in the day, the digestion still gets fucked from the animal products. Even if you're just having like a can of freaking tuna flesh, dumping it into your digestion, the bacteria and the microbiome is different, okay? So yeah, you can be lean, eating lean protein, but you won't be feeling your best. You won't have the flattest stomach, okay? You see these gym girls. You go to any gym, just out the front, you see them, and from the back they look like tight, and then you switch them around at the front, and it's like, oh, maybe she's pregnant. I don't know, because she's got quite a distended belly, and I call that the protein bloat, the protein gut. So if you are a person out there, you're lean, okay, because you eat low fat, but you got this like bloated gut, all right. Your gut doesn't look, like a washboard, and you don't have to have a washboard stomach. I'm just saying, if you want one, listen up. Then cut the animal products from your diet and watch what happens to your gut. It comes in, okay? It comes in. Maybe you're 400 pounds watching this, okay? If you're 400 pounds and you do my protocols, your gut is just going to be like, it's going to deflate and deflate and deflate, okay? It's just like a freaking air balloon, just, all right? And you'll lose 200 pounds in like 6 months or so, If you're doing my protocols and you're 400 pounds, you're going to at least lose 200 pounds in 6 months. That's not an exaggeration there, okay? I've seen people, I saw a guy from 150 kilos down to 75 in a year, and he was losing so much weight each week, every few days. I was like, this is fucking full on. I'd never seen it before, like in real life. This is over 10 years ago, but he was losing so much weight, man. Like even the first week, he came to me in Thailand there, Chiang Mai. His name was Craig, and he looked like a fucking he looked like a fucking salami, man. All right, he looked like a fucking salami, a talking, walking salami, one of those big, fucking fat as fuck salamis, man. And but in his eyes, he wanted it, man. He was fucking hungry to change. And I was like, I think we got a really good example of this kid. He was committed, and he wouldn't get in any taxi. He would just be at the restaurant. He'd go, Harley, I want to sit next to you. I want to see what you eat and critique my meal. I'm like, okay, and he'd order all this rice, and he's just drinking these full sugar drinks. He's just fucking guzzling it down. Have his water, his sugar drinks, his rice, his fat-free sauces, and he was doing it, man. He's riding, to and from, and then he was just shredding the weight. This kid was fucking on it, 100%. And eventually, unfortunately, he went a little bit, Icarus on us and tried to fly too high in the sun and tried to just do whole foods and speed up the process, and then that just fucked things up, and he went, Anyway, that's the story. So my protocols do work, people. All right, just stick on them, okay? Stick on them. And if you get too lean, all right, then stop. All right, that's the promise I want people to do. If you're getting you will eventually get too lean, and you're gonna have to go, okay, time out. I'm gonna stop doing the riding. I'm gonna stop eating low fat. I'm gonna do some more anabolic activities. Okay, time out. Okay, I don't want you to go under 18 BMI, people. Okay, even under 19, getting a bit, on the edge there. Okay, because sometimes if you get under 19 BMI, it's a bit of a red flag. Like, caution. Okay, so if you're getting under 19 BMI, under 18, maybe if you're an elite runner, okay, that's cool. But otherwise, just be careful, people. Okay, maybe message me if you're getting that low, and we can just stop riding the bike. Okay, there you go. Just stop riding the bike. Eat some fucking avocados. Eat some greasy corn chips and eat some vegan burgers or something. Just do something. Skip sugar for a few weeks, and then the weight will come back up. Okay, because when you skip sugar, then you eat more fatty and protein foods. Okay, reduce the processed carbs, and then you'll get hungry, and you'll eat more fat and protein. Combine that with no cycling, and you'll pop up to a more sustainable weight. And then you can just sort of modulate over time. Getting too lean, eat more fat and protein. Ride less. Getting too fat or too fat, want to get lean, do my protocols. I guarantee you these will work. I guarantee you if I can be sales, if I can sell you something, just get my ebooks. All right, get my ebooks. I've got 2 ebooks out there. Carve the Fuck Up and Do Not Embody Bible. I wrote them over 10 years ago, and they've got little updates and here and there, and they get updated if there's anything new or just and the updates are free. They get emailed to you. But even if you've got the first edition to the current edition, there's not a lot. The fundamentals haven't changed. Maybe I've just worded it in a way it's better understood in the latest editions. But nothing has changed because these things just fucking work. Okay, and I'm standing on the shoulders of giants. I've conversed with the cycling coach Dr. Ferrari. Yes, Lance's bro. All the guys like McDougall and Esselstyn and Neil Barnard, and taking the best of their best and left the rest to the rest, and just having talking to these athletic coaches and seeing what Salazar's doing and all these things going on out there, and talking to some of the best cyclists on the planet and runners, and just what are you doing? And ballerinas and dancers and UFC fighters, and see what they're doing. And talking with gastric bypass surgeons, which I have known a lot over the years through cycling. So I get to talk to a lot of different people. I'm very blessed like that. And so I just steal, like Picasso said, good artists copy, great artists steal. So I've basically just stolen all the best and put it into my ebooks. None of this is really original. I would say that my recipe is maybe original, but I've basically stolen ingredients from the best of the best. I've got their best stuff, dumped it into my protocols, okay? And then tested that on myself and tested it on thousands of people around the world, different ages and abilities, from people who are quadriplegics to Tour de France, winning cyclists, etc. Look at the sugar, all the sugar content now people are consuming in the world tour. Who inspired that? Who inspired people to guzzle that much sugar? Yeah. So all the nutritionists, they don't teach that at university, and all the teams have nutritionists that went to university. Okay, and they don't teach that at university to smash in all this refined sugar, do they? So where did the team nutritionists learn this from? So that's the power of YouTube. That's why I'm so pedantic about creating influencers. But that's the wrap up. To blow my trumpet, to sound arrogant, whatever. If you just do my protocols, I guarantee results, man. I fucking guarantee you'll get so lean that people will be like, I don't know, like, is something wrong with you? Isn't sugar make you fat? You're too skinny, man. You're too lean, bro. You're looking like a POW, bro. But sugar makes you fat, bro. These are Vaporfly 3s. Some people pay $360 for these. I pay $120. I lie. I pay between $92 and $110 for these. Okay, that's what I pay from Nike direct. Okay, direct from Nike. Okay, so if you know, you know. But other people out there saying you can't get a Vaporflies 3s for $90 to $110, $112 Australian. You can't do that. I sell women's Vaporfly to my inside circle for $130, and they're $360 in the shop, $320, whatever they cost these days. It's insane. That's the morality. The reality I'm in is I don't live in the normal reality there. But if you're happy, just living in normal reality, wearing your Pegasus 39s to run a marathon in, you do you. But again, I sound very arrogant. I sound very judgmental, and I guess that maybe I am. But at the end of the day, I do get results, and I guarantee results. I guarantee results. All right. You join my coaching group. If you don't get insane results, I'll give you 10 times your money back. Everybody gets the fucking goal done. If you put in the work, if you actually do the protocols, it's guaranteed. Okay. Now, some people can run, a freaking sub 2-hour marathon on my protocols. Some people are going to be lucky to crack a sub 3:30 because they're 70 years of age. So genetics is varying there. But in terms of being lean, your leanest, healthy weight, then I guarantee that. But if you're a mom of 5 and you want the stomach you had when you're 18 and you look like a bikini model, then because when your stomach, when you're pregnant and you have the kids, you lose that that aesthetic. You can't get that. But we can get you slim again, but we can't get you an 18-year-old stomach that's never had babies in it. If it makes sense, okay? Just to be so we're not disillusioned there. But that's the reality there. But again, it's a guarantee. But I see people out there that's just absolutely suffering with excess weight and fatigue issues and mental health issues and reliant on caffeine and just to get through basic stuff. And yeah, it's crazy, man. But what if yeah. Anyway, that's the wrap up. Get my ebooks or join the coaching group. I guarantee results. Stop wasting time, man. Stop wasting time. All right, if you want to be lean, this is the best way. It's the easiest way. It's the most fun way. It's ecological. It's sustainable. It's cheap, man. It's cheap. And it's tasty. Pizza, bro. No pizza? Fuck that. No pasta? No rice? You can't eat rice? You can't eat as much rice as you want? No sugar? You can't drink water? No fucking fruit, bro. No juices? No carrot juice, bro. No bread? No fresh bread, man. Fuck that. You gotta eat like a fucking house cat. What's that? Jordan Peterson says you should eat like a house cat. Fuck that. You know what I mean? There's people out there listening to people like Jordan Peterson on nutrition. Eat like a fucking house cat. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, you know, no pizza, no pasta, no rice, no fruits, no sugars, no sweet drinks, no fresh bread. Fuck that, man. You have to count your calories. You gotta weigh fucking your portions and shit up. You're still hungry, but I can't eat anymore. Let me brush my teeth. Let me start a fight. Let me do a phone call. Let's do something. Distract myself from eating. Fuck that. But that's what people are doing out there, man. And yeah, it might get you lean, but then your thyroid, your TSH gets spiked, doesn't it? And you get insulin resistant. You're cutting all the sugars, and you think it's calories in, calories out, so they're eating all the fats and the excess proteins, and that's giving you insulin resistance. That's a huge reason why my protocols work so well, is because the cornerstone is building insulin sensitivity. Which I've done a zillion videos about that, because fat and protein increases insulin resistance. And working with diabetics over 2 decades taught me that. So that's this is, I'm not original here. Guys like Harold Hemsworth and all the diabetics that I've talked with over the last 20 years, started with a girl called Nicole Jenkins in primary school back in 1985. She was a type 1 diabetic. And then my mate Scott Day in, I think it was 90 something, he became type 1 diabetic. And I was just like, what is this? Are you going to die? What's going on here? He was pricking his finger, his blood. I'm like, oh, there's blood. And he's checking his glucose. So what does that mean? Like, oh, he's injecting himself. Oh my God, like, you're on steroids. And so he was educating me on insulin sensitivity, insulin resistance. And we'd go and do a bike ride together or a bike race. We'd go race the crits. And then he would say, oh man, insulin sensitivity is just fucking banging for like 3 or 4 days. It's really good. And I'm like, oh, interesting, okay. And so, yeah, but then we went with that. And then he would talk about his diet and stuff and fat and sugars and I understood what insulin resistance meant. Yeah. Before that, when I hear the words insulin resistance, I'm just like, oh, what is that? Is he speaking French to me? I don't understand. Non comprende. You know, palo or whatever. You know, so this isn't original shit, man. I'm a thief of basically stealing diamond necklaces, the best of the best information, and then repackaging it and putting it out there for people to benefit from. So yeah, I'm definitely not original like that. Maybe my style is, but the information isn't. It's all backed by the best science out there on weight loss. So ask me to play the piano, I fucking wouldn't have a fucking clue. But get you your best, leanest performance self. That's why some of the best athletes in the world are watching my content and taking my advice. And I never went to university. So yeah. Again, they see me, almost 50. They see this. They see my face looking happy. They see how much I get to eat. They're like, hang on. My fat coach? Fuck them. What's Harley saying? Durianrider. Help me get me lean, bro.